Hey everyone, welcome to the Acrylic Asylum. I'm Mike Ferris and I'll be showing you how I paint this great white shark piece. So stay tuned to the end so you don't miss any of the lesson details I'll be going through step by step. And also check out the description box for the list of colors and materials. So now I have an 11 by 14 inch pre-stretched canvas, and on top of that I have two pieces of paper I've taped together to make that same size, and I've drawn out my image using 1-inch squares and I've numbered them vertically and horizontally, as you can see there, and this just helps to proportionately lay everything out. And so if you want to pause, go ahead and draw something similar out or follow exactly what you see here. So starting off, I'm just going to flip this image over and I'm going to put the background first, and I have my 2-inch flat brush and a little bit of water with the excess off, and I'm just going to make the canvas a little damp. That makes the paint flow a lot better for the background. And so with some phthalo blue and a touch of black in it to dull it down and a little bit of titanium white in that, I'm going to be putting on the brightest part of the water, of course, which is up top where the sun's going to be hitting it. And I'm going to be getting darker and making this gradient transition from lighter to darker. So after this, I'm going to go ahead and get that same color, and this time not as much white in there as I want it just a little bit darker. And so something about like so, and then I'm going to start down, and then as it comes up, less paint will be on my brush, and this will make it a lot easier to blend this into that lighter color, making that natural gradient. So now I'm just filling in some more, and now I just picked up more of that color, of course with less white. As you can see, it's a little darker, and again just going to blend that up a little bit. And now I'm going to take black and that blue again. This time I don't want any titanium white into that at all. This will be the darkest place where it indicates the ocean's getting deeper, and of course less sun's hitting it. So I'm going to go down, and then again with less paint on my brush, bring it up and blend that up into that other color. Okay, now with my number 6 flat brush, and this is raw umber that I've had here, and now with a little phthalo blue and some white into that, I'm looking for this sort of Payne's light gray color out of those 3 colors there. And with that, I'm just sort of going to dance that in on the top of the water here, and this is going to indicate the ripples and basically the surface of the water. So without cleaning my brush, I'm just grabbing a little titanium white and I'm going in there with that just to help settle some of these down and just knock some of the intensity back, as well as making it look a little bit more natural. And so with just pure titanium white, I'm going to take just the tip of my number 2 flat brush now, and I'm going to make these little white dots just here and there, not a whole lot. This just indicates direct light and sun kisses hitting the top of the water. So now with just a teeny bit of titanium white, I'm just going to put in the indication of some direct sun rays hitting the surface of the water. So this is the image I drew out now with my wax transfer paper and stylus, and I just wanted to bring you close and show you that. And I did put a video link in the description box, and it's a short 3-minute video that shows how to do that. So now with a clean palette, I've got titanium white, permanent black, phthalo green, and phthalo blue. And so with my 3/8 angle brush, I'm going to take this darker gray color, a little bit of black and white, and I'm just going to go in there with these darker gray colors and start with the gills and just basically fill in some of these other dark spots. So going up close now in the mouth area, I just wanted to use my angle brush here with the very tip of it. It really helps me get into small areas and use precision. And so as you can see, this tip here and all those other bristles out of my way, it makes it really easy to go around the really small fine details of the teeth. Now getting into the nostril area here, and again using that fine tip to make these small shapes. And also right here on this side fin as well. So now with some titanium white and no cleaning necessary, I'm going to take this light gray color, and as you can see I'm using the edge tip of this angle brush, and look at how precise I can get this line. So clean, and I just absolutely love this brush. And now just with some of that color, I'm going to go ahead and dance that here and there. Okay, now picking up more permanent black just to make it darker now. And now with this darker gray, I'm going to go ahead and play that into the head here and there. So now with a few values of gray played back and forth, we're starting to see some shadow and depth and dimension, and this is really starting to make this shark just start to come alive now. So now I'm grabbing Phthalo Blue and a little titanium white and some black together, and I don't want much white into that, and I'm going to go ahead and do the underside now with some of this color. So now I want to pick up Phthalo Green into that color, and again a little bit more white but not much. I want this dark, and this is going to be sort of this marine color reflection that's also involved. So now I've added to my palette some of this crimson red and raw umber, and I'm going to mix those two together to create this very light, dull, sort of red gum color. So titanium white to that. And this is going to be for inside the shark's mouth, and I wanted to make this as real looking as possible, so I've got you in close now, and I'm just going to hit this bottom edge of his mouth right here, just with that color. So now with titanium white and just a touch of black in there to dull it down just a teeny bit, and the tip of that angle brush, I'm going to go ahead and make these fine small triangular teeth shapes just like so. Okay, now with some black and some white, just going to take this gray color, and with that I'm just going to go down the side fin here. So now going back to that same color before, that phthalo blue, green, a touch of black and some white, and now I want to add more phthalo green and more titanium white to brighten it up, and this is going to be that reflective marine color that will be on the back tail here that I'll block in. Now with just some permanent black to make this dark color, and without cleaning my brush, I was able to go in there and do the underside of the side fin. And also with that color on my brush, I'm going to dance some of that in just on the bottom part of this fin here. Now back to those colors again with Phthalo Blue, Phthalo Green, touch of black, and a little titanium white. And that's going to be a darker color again that I want to apply as a second layer underneath here to add more dimension. So now without cleaning my brush, I'm just picking up more titanium white and more Phthalo Green. And with this brighter reflective color, I want to put that right underneath the side fin right here. And I also want to touch some of the edges here and there, and that just helps show more dimension and more detail with some of that light that's sneaking into the shadow areas. So now up close again, I've got that same color with less titanium white, and that just creates some shadow details within the tail. And then on top of that, I'll grab some more titanium white. And so there's no cleaning necessary. This is the same color. I'm just varying its values back and forth. As you can see, sometimes there's more color and then more white into that color, and that just helps change the values up. And so now with Phthalo Blue and black, I'm going to make this really dark color now and just sort of scratch it here and there. And I want to put some of these crevices in the body and create some other details like so. And now here's the other fin underneath right here with that same bright reflective marine color. And so now going into some permanent black without cleaning my brush, just wiping some of that off. And right next to the fin right here underneath on one side and as well as on the other, and this just again helps create more shadow and details. Okay, with a clean brush now, I'm just going to take some titanium white and some permanent black and make this really light gray color, and let's do the dorsal fin. And now picking up more titanium white, no cleaning necessary, and going to dance that here and there. Now I do want to bring it up to the nostril, and I do kind of want to be precise and on purpose where I bring this white. And there's going to be some shadow and dimension that sort of matches the shape of his head and where his mouth separates. So where I place these values is pretty important in that regard. So I'm leaving some of this open, as you can see in the front of the head there. And now on the back here, I'm just sort of scratching in that lighter color a little bit. And now with picking up some just permanent black without cleaning, I'm going to go in here and I'm going to redefine these gills that sort of got covered up. And I'm going to go in and settle them down and redefine and settle them down until I like what I see with that. And now picking up more permanent black to make it darker, and with that I want to make this little detail shadow right here. And with that color on my brush still, I'm going to go in with the gills and again redefine them. Okay, hitting the edge of that nostril there to show some depth and dimension and light hitting it a little bit, and some more titanium white for another layer to bring out more dimension. Now let's give this guy some eyes to see with the tip of my 2-inch flat brush now and some permanent black. And now again picking up more titanium white and going back in and dancing it here and there, and no cleaning necessary. Now I want to take this darker gray with more permanent black in the mix, and I want to create this little shadow right here, and that's going to really show some dimension and some texture to this guy between his mouth and the rest of his body. So picking up more titanium white now, I want to go over this gray area a little bit here, and then again that just helps settle that down and blends it in, giving it more of a natural look to him. Now back to some permanent black, and just going to redefine some stuff here and there, as well as some of the gills again. And without cleaning again, just some more titanium white, and just going to dance some direct light right here. And of course, while more of that white is on my brush, just again going to settle some of that gray part down right here, giving it even more of a natural look. And so now with some Phthalo Blue and Phthalo Green and some white, and you guessed it, a little black. Back to that color again. And just a little titanium white. And so I want to get that marine color reflective light right here on just some of the bottom right here and there. And just sort of have some of that play in there. And in this nostril area right here, it's a little bit brighter. And now with a clean brush, just titanium white, I'm going to go on top of them right here and just sort of place some of that white in there again. Okay, and back to our favorite marine color mixture again. And now I want it just a little bit darker, less titanium white, of course, into that color. And right here, I want to make this distinguished sort of marine shadow, darker color here. And I will come back and adjust this a little bit. And now with that darker marine color on my brush still, I'm going to take and hit the side of this dorsal fin right here. And that again just helps bring out more dimension and details. And now on the side fin area here, just going to reinforce some of the shadows as well as some of the lights. Now with some of that light color, I just want to hit the edge of this nostril here to show some dimension on that. And notice how I take my finger, I can just sort of dab that out and it blends it in like so. Okay, so back to that favorite color of ours. And with that, I'm just going to fill in some of this here. And notice I don't cover up all that light right there. And that's to add more dimension and keep the texture alive. Okay, just picking up a little permanent black into my brush now, didn't really clean it. And with that, I'm just gonna hit the edge underneath part of this nose here. And I kind of wanted to fix the shape of it out here. I didn't really like it too much, but the cool thing with acrylics is you can do anything and cover anything up, so that's an easy fix there. And so I'm just gonna sort of fade this color into that other stuff and just sort of give it dimension like so. Okay, and now with a clean brush, just pure titanium white now, no black this time at all, and I want to drag that color down a little bit and fade it into this other stuff by going lighter pressure as I move it down into that gray stuff. And this helps to show some direct light that's really zinging off the top of his body. Okay, and with the edge of my brush, just a little titanium white, I want to do a little highlight here on the very edge of the rim of the eye socket here, and that just helps show more dimension. Okay, and with some titanium white again, just hitting the top of this side fin here. Okay, now going into Phthalo Blue, just a touch of black and some white. Lots of white. I want to make this light watercolor here, and just for the heck of it, I thought I'd go in here and just knock back some of these water ripples here and just add a little bit more detail to them. Okay, so with my script liner brush now, lots of water and titanium white, I'm going to sign this piece right here. I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and if you found this lesson inspirational, helpful, and enjoyable, then hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any of the free lessons I'll be putting out on a weekly basis. And if you have any questions or comments, drop those down below. I'd love to hear from you guys. And until next time, happy painting, everyone.